that's the most pressing thing because like many of us, Jax and I, we've seen some clips on Twitter and from live streams, but we have actual Pokemon, or I would have considered myself a Pokemon player. Probably not anymore, but we have Chazz and Creation that actually bought the game, or with Creation, he didn't exactly buy Yoshi.
No, I paid $60 for this title. I cannot wait to tear. I cannot wait to tear into it.
All right, let's go straight into it.
Oh really? We go
straight into Pokemon.
There's a lot to say. There's a lot.
Okay, so first of all, I want to, I'm sorry to stroke my own ego, but back when I was on the Game of Gear podcast and we were talking about a trailer, I completely called it. Like, there's the little scene of you running with, 8 Sunflora. I completely said outright, this game is going to have a terrible frame rate. I was generous with that. This game has no consistent frame rate. None at all.
Yeah, he's absolutely right.
No, I knew it. I saw the glitchy mess that was to be. And I paid money for this.
But the day one patch, though.
the day one patch.
That was crazy. That's all I saw when people were talking about how bad this game. What about the day one patch? Dude, the day one patch is released 5 days before the game comes out.
Yeah, remember last year, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl? There was no there's placeholder music until that day one patch.
Okay, so real quick on the music, the gym leader theme is recycled from Sword and Shield. I'm not insane on this. No, okay. So you know how in Sword and Shield where the background vocals go da 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 da. That is in Scarlet and Violet. That when you get to the last Pokemon on the opponent's team, they play that exact same sound. I might just be insane. I might just be thinking about something else, but I am 95% sure that they are using the same vocal cheering noise from Sword and Shield. It might be.
You're absolutely right.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm not just insane.
No, you're not insane. You're right.
Oh, okay. This was something that I was so wholeheartedly believing in. Pokemon never has crappy music. This game has boring, soulless music.
Oh, he went there. He went there.
No soul.
There is no soul in this game. Recycled, when you go so far as to reuse the previous game's song, not a remix. This isn't Black 2, White 2, Johto Champion remix for the Pokemon World Tournament. No, it's the exact same stuff.
Yeah, even though it doesn't have any consistency or a through line. It's not like it's the same character.
Exactly, it's not. It's not this is supposed to be a recurring character. Red is showing up at the end of the battle tree. Oh my gosh. And then it drops the classic Red theme. It's no.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
You know how the sequels in Star Wars they use Luke's theme constantly, even though even if Luke's not even there. Then, is that how it's because that's what it kind of sounds like to me.
No, it really does. The moment I heard the cheering, I was like, "What are you cheering for? This is why?"
Yeah, are the gyms actually? Do the gyms take place in stadiums this time?
Okay, so you go to a specific building to do a gym challenge. Then it forces you to do a 5-minute side game, which sometimes it's even just pressing the buttons I use the term quick very loosely. Sometimes you do a QTE, quick time event, but then it's it teleports you to a specific location in the city that's supposed to be the field. But remember when walking into a gym, you'd walk in, you'd battle 2, 3, maybe 4 different trainers, do a sliding puzzle, and then you battle the gym leader? Remember that? Remember how fast and efficient that felt? It takes you 10 minutes entering the gym building, completing the gym challenge, and then beating the gym leader takes that long. It is I'm not exaggerating here. If you watch my stream, a quick shill, but in all seriousness, that this game, it's bad.
Yeah, I saw the school setting, and that you have to answer questions correctly, and like these are like very basic questions. It just reminded me of Persona 5. But
yeah, dude, like no, this is Persona 5 wishes that no, okay, Pokemon wishes. I'm trying to like watch my wording carefully, but Manic, I sent you a quick video I stitched together. It's just like a minute long of a glitch that I encountered. I have no idea if this is a glitch other people have encountered. So if you want to like play that whenever, go right ahead. Like I just want to let you know, but this is a mess. I'm not even trying to bash my head against like a specific seam in a corner trying to clip through the like ground. I'm just walking around. The frame rate, the pop-in, the character models, it's all garbage. It's all bad. And it breaks my heart because I'm a nerd. I'm a diehard Pokemon fan. Pokemon Diamond is one of the first games I've ever played. And as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate more and more things about Pokemon, right? There's nothing to appreciate about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Okay, unless you are trying to get into the competitive VGC scene or you are a Pokemon YouTuber, you have no reason to buy and play this game. No reason at all. If you're looking at for a challenging game, you get like Pokemon Kaizo Emerald.
Oh, yeah, there's no longer an option to have your battle style to set instead of switch.
Yeah, it's insane. Nintendo is the most 2 steps forward, 4 steps back company I've ever seen, and it is astounding. I really don't get it.
Yeah. Okay. So do I need audio to play your video?
Most likely because my reaction is pretty funny, but
okay. Yeah, I'll have to just try to describe it for the audio only listeners right here.
I mean, the glitch is very visual. Like you will just see it. It's only a minute and 40 seconds, but this happened twice, 2 separate times. Like I stitched this together real quick.
Okay. So okay, let me unmute it on YouTube. So did the screen just? Okay, I thought like the screen just turned black, and then I thought that was a glitch, but that's just Pokemon doing a Pokemon
that's
not wanting to
supposed
animate.
To be there?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the fuck was that?
Okay.
Like,
so I quickly just titled this Tinka Tunk. Don't give a Tinka, F-bomb. I'm trying to keep it like monetized, but like, it's just there. A random Pokemon model is just sitting in the middle of a cutscene.
Dumbfounded.
I don't know why. And it happened previously in the stream, and I like overlooked it. But this random model, I don't know if it's because I added it to my team recently. I genuinely have no idea why this Pokemon is just in the scene.
Okay.
Like I said, I just took 2 minutes to stitch this together. I didn't actually care about editing it because I don't want to put any effort into Scarlet and Violet beyond playing the game on stream. But like, no, keep the video going. Like, sorry, I'm looking at the stream, so I might be a bit behind. But like, even just seeing it now, it's amazing how. Well, no, it's still in the cutscene when you like.
Yeah.
It's insane. This game isn't done. This game is not finished.
Okay. Did you know this is actually a speedrun strategy. If you connect 2 controllers, and I don't know if this applies to more controllers, but if you connect 2 controllers and then like both controllers are in sync, moving the same direction, the trainer will go twice as fast.
Yeah.
That is insane. Like, okay, if you handed this game to Gordon Ramsay, he would say it's still moving, it's still flopping around. Put it back in the oven. Yes, chef. Sorry, chef.
I've seen like when you play games and you move away from characters.
See, look, I'm looking at the stream right now. It's still there. This random Pokemon model, this random little Tinkatunk. Don't give a Tinka F-bomb. I don't want to get this monetized, but I'm not insane. This isn't only because, I'm stupid or something. This game legitimately is not done. Recycled music, poor animation, no consistent frame rate, consistent glitches. No, so you know the joke about how Sonic 06, can you beat the game without encountering a glitch? Can you beat Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with a consistent frame rate? Challenge accepted. 5 seconds long.
This game is actually, I feel like it's actually in the leagues of Cyberpunk and Sonic 06. Unironically.
Unironically, I agree. It takes so long. You remember how you would just press X to open the menu? You go to your Pokemon tab. It takes twice as long in this game. That might not sound like it takes all that long, right? Because it's just X, 10 frames later, the menu opens. But when it takes 20 frames to open every time, I don't want to open my Pokedex tab. It takes so long to get to it. Legitimately, for everything this game has done right, it's done 4 or 5 things wrong. I like the idea that you have this legendary Pokemon with you. It's very much like Lily with, Nebby. You just have this legendary Pokemon, you're trying to, heal it, trying to make it feel better, and then over the course of the game, it'll get progressively stronger. That's a good idea. But when everything else around it is bad, this game is just bad.
It's just bad.
There's no other way to say it.
I think that Game Freak should not be the sole developer of Pokemon anymore. And I'm not saying just because they've been having a bad track record recently, because Ilka did Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. That was also bad. And also, what also is in that way is that Game Freak owns a third of the Pokemon IP. But just have it every other year, because remember, Legends Arceus also came out this year. So there's 2 Game Freak games that came out within a year of each other.
Yeah.
Less than a year, same year.
And guys, remember, this is the same year we got Elden Ring, and this month we got God of War Ragnarok. 2 games that are not only stunning from a gameplay perspective, but from a visual perspective. This game really does feel like Game Freak saw the success of Elden Ring and saw open world games like Breath of the Wild and even Sonic Frontiers at this point, and said, that's what we have to do. Pokemon was not meant to be made like this. All the models that you run into make the game terrible. Just have it be the tall grass, and then you run into the tall grass, and then it spawns the Pokemon. Yeah, but no, it just has to do this thing where it's trying to feel all grand and spectacular, but when the game runs terrible, I cannot be immersed in the world.
Okay, we don't even need to compare it to this year's games. We can compare it to Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Unleashed looks better, and that came out on the PS3, Xbox 360.
Yeah, that's the Unleashed family thing.
Unleashed good. I've seen a lot of people. People say that if you just leave the game running, after a couple hours, that there's possibly maybe a memory leak of sorts, that the game starts to run worse every because the guy's running through a town, and I left the game on 3 hours, and he's running through an area, and the frame rate's lower, and he's the performance, there's something going on where if you don't reset the game, restart it, there's something going on, and the performance just gets worse.
I actually had my game crash on me. I just walked into a random town. Game froze for 10 seconds. Game error. Yeah. I should be allowed to expect more from this. I don't want to I'm a diehard Pokemon fan. I'm not a diehard Pokemon apologist. This game is terrible. This game is not finished. There's no excuse for this. This is like, it's 2022, guys, get better. But it's like, I should expect better. I have every reason to expect better because I've seen them be able to pull off better 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
And like we don't even. This is not even the bar for any video game company. If this was any other company, nobody would be defending it.
Exactly. If this was like if this was EA making another another bad FIFA or Madden or whatever, it'd be like funny, haha. They can't get their stuff together. Her. But this is Nintendo. This is Pokemon, the highest grossed property of all time. Pokemon has sold the most in terms of everything. This is Pokemon we're talking about.
I wonder which one has more glitches, Mass Effect Andromeda or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
I mean, do we count choppy frame rates as glitches? I mean, is it if it's a glitch in the coding because one person forgot to put in an A instead of an O in some random line, then yes, this is probably the glitchiest game I've ever seen. But if this is just terrible frame rate, it's not optimized, it's not supposed to have 400 models all at once on the Switch, it's not a glitch, it's just poorly made.
I find it odd that you see clips of maybe the opening scene where they're in the classroom and all the kids are sitting there playing at half the frames. Like when you get further away from characters, their frame rate cuts down, but it's like you're right there beside a character and their frame rate's like half, but the game's not running at 30. So you're seeing 15 frames and then the game's running at 20 frames and then they cut down to 7 frames. And that's just crazy. That's crazy. I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. We're all dumbfounded. We have no idea why it's like this. Pokemon Sword and Shield was not like this. It's the same console.
The beginning
same hardware.
The beginning of a game is usually the most polished part of the game. That's what the QA have tested the most. And as you get further into a game, you might see more bugs and stuff. But people when they buy a game, if they play the first 5 hours, they're probably sold on the game and they like it. But this game just it's weird, man. It's weird because I'd see a lot of people having great times with this game, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, I fell through the world and I teleported to a random place. I've not even been in this area yet. I was outside the area. I fell through the world and I teleported inside the area. And he's like, I think I've locked out of something. I've missed cutscenes apparently.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that.
This doesn't have multiple save files. It's just one save, right?
Yeah, it auto saves.
Yeah, so he's locked out of whatever happened. The game skipped whatever cutscene was supposed to play. So now he's just lost content. He's lost possible, interactions with characters.
And maybe now he's locked the game entirely because this one cutscene had this important flag to be stored for the plot to Pokemon the Star team, right? And it's like, oh no, I wouldn't be surprised at that.
This genuinely feels like it's like a stripped down port of just when they cross release on both generations.
Yeah,
that's what this feels. It feels like the lesser generation. Backwards.
It really this feels like this feels like a passionate fan wanted to mod Sword and Shield to be open world. It really does feel like that. And that doesn't even include some of the terrible looking regional variants. I try to give regional variants a pass, but that Magneton looking thing,
Tentacruel.
I can't believe. Okay, Wiglet's funny at least. That's funny, but there are some other things that just aren't funny. They're just bad. It gets to a point where you can't keep laughing at it. I could laugh at the terrible frame rate for my first stream. Second stream is funny, haha. By the time of the third stream, what else is there to say? This game is just boring. It's not like Sonic 06 where you constantly encounter something new. It's not like Fallout 76 where there's always something broken to be found. You know what this game is going to be like. You've seen it for the first hour. It's not going to be any different for the third hour, fifth hour. It's probably going to be even worse for the 7th hour, but purely from a technical standpoint. If this was a gameplay kind of glitchy game where I could force myself to clip and walk through walls and do all these crazy things like in the Brilliant Diamond speedrun, that's just funny. right? This is not funny. This is not fun. This game is not fun. And I even mean that for the battles, because the battles take so long. It is so slow.
Was there any significant changes made to the battle system?
No, it's just pick the move. You do the move. The opponent text box pops up. But it's because the text box takes 4 times as long than in like the DS games. Because it has to render everything.
If the frame rate was solid and things weren't so laggy or felt like when you open them, if they didn't feel such like a burden, you feel like this would at least be a solid game.
This game would at least be playable. I would at least like to play it enough to maybe form a competitive team and play online. I don't want to play this game online because I know that, God forbid, the Nintendo online servers lag gets added to this game.
No.
Yeah, because in Sword and Shield, like the open world, the wild area was kind of fine until you connected online. That's when it got really buggy.
Have we seen the frame rate of like the co-op feature in this game? I'm beyond interested.
I haven't done co-op yet, but I would not be surprised if it gets even worse. It would not surprise me.
I didn't know there was a co-op feature until the other day. I must have missed that trailer or announcement.
Is this oh. Okay.
So it's like, I know it's a meme that, the winter season is like the most depressing time for people, even for me right now. I just had some very, very bad stuff happen this morning, and I'm like crazy depressed. So this makes me depressed. Like, Pokemon is my childhood. I absolutely love it.
Just ruined
but it's
I've disassociated myself from Pokemon for quite a while. Not saying it's like, oh, I'll never play a Pokemon game again. Just, I'm not going to be expecting anything of value.
No, I went into this with no expectations at all. Legitimately. No, I didn't think that this was going to be anything insanely good. I didn't expect this to be anything insanely bad. I was like, okay, it's the new Pokemon game, Gen 9, a few new mechanics. Let's see what new moves are there. New Pokemon, let's see the stat spreads and all that, right? I don't want to do that for this game. I want to just want to hop back into my, Nintendo sponsored way to play original Gen 3 and Gen 4 games, right? I want to play Pokemon Platinum, Black 2, White 2, maybe even some X and Y. I do not want to play Scarlet and Violet. I don't care if this game would make me shoot up the ranks in terms of like going from 200 subs to 200,000 subs. I do not want to play this game anymore. I'm like 4 streams in.
Might as well donate to charity.
No, charity does not want this. Charity should not accept this.
Yeah, imagine giving a kid with cancer this game. I feel like that kid would just want to die even more.
He would probably pass away from cancer before he beat this game because it takes that long.
He's like, damn. At least he's like, damn. Having cancer is better than being a Pokemon fan.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, not entirely, because Ash finally won his thing, but we're not talking about the anime. We're talking about Scarlet and Violet. If you are a Pokemon video game fan, screw the anime and the Pokemon trading card game purely for the video game thing. It's been sad. Like, Sword and Shield was mediocre. Legends Arceus was like, Manic, would you say it was mediocre?
No, I'd say it's good in the same way Sonic Frontiers is good.
I like Arceus. It was fun.
Yeah,
okay.
It has some jank to it. Some of the textures look like a Roblox game.
The worst I've ever seen. Worst ever seen.
But Scarlet and Violet. I know I have said this 100 times. I will say it 100 more. This game is bad in every way, shape, or form. The music, the character creator. It is the most androgynous. Like, you cannot tell if you are a guy or a girl kind of thing ever. The fact that this game doesn't let you choose are you a boy or a girl says all that I need to say. It's like it doesn't care. This game just doesn't care.
Yeah, the art style looked very much like kind of like deviating from what Sword and Shield, and the character models in Sword and Shield looked fine, that character art, but it was like the textures on the trees that was the issue, not the characters.
Exactly, but even these characters, they look. Your player character is the most lifeless player character I've ever seen. It truly feels soulless.
Oh,
or maybe that's just
even more than Sun and Moon.
Okay, well, maybe it's just because I haven't like really cared to look at my character, you know. But like even in Sun and Moon, you at least had the Z move, so your character would do like a cool pose, right? This game doesn't have even that.
No,
right?
No.
So I mean, there's so much to say, but my mind is still just trying to wrap around the fact that a random Tinkatunk is just glitched into a cutscene.
Is there a food thing like the curry decks or something? Did that return or
no? I think you just make sandwiches. Maybe there's a sandwich dex now, but Dexit and all that. But it's like I don't care about sandwiches. I just want to catch some Pokemon, beat the gym leader. But I am like 13 hours into this playthrough, I think. But it's like I don't know if that's like right or not, but it feels like I've been playing it far longer. I know I played a few extra bit off stream, so that might be it, but it's still just like I haven't even beaten the 4th gym at this point. At this point in time, you could probably be halfway through a Pokemon Platinum playthrough. Assuming you picked Infernape.
And how far are you currently?
Well, it's like
in terms of gyms.
Okay, well, in terms of gyms, I've beaten 3 gyms, but I've also done 2 of the other side quest things because, like, there's like 3 specific things to do. You beat the gym leaders, you beat the enemy team, and then you find the Titan Pokemon. And then after you beat a Titan Pokemon, you find a like mystical herb, and then you use that herb to heal your legendary bike Pokemon. So it's like all 3 of those things matter. But in a game like Black 2 and White 2, you would just organically, over the course of a well-made and well-thought-out, well-paced game, you just get that stuff as is. But because this game is open world and lets you do just about anything in any order you feel like, okay, so we all know the meme of, in Pokemon Gen 2, like, Kanto gym leaders have no levels, right? Like, funny, haha. Janine barely has a level 40 Pokemon after you beat a level 50 Dragonite on Lance's team. This game really feels like it's trying to be like Pokemon Crystal Clear, the ROM hack, where you could go anywhere, any gym order. But unlike that ROM hack, this game didn't think things through. It's either way too easy, or you find a way to get to a new gym leader, and they're like 15 levels ahead of you. The game does not properly scale with the amount of gym badges you had, like I thought it was. But it feels so weird. I can't even put it into words about like the progression system. Because on one hand, it feels way too easy. I level up way too fast. If you just do a couple dozen Terra raids, you'll get EXP candies, and you can just slap that onto one random Pokemon and just level up to like 50 or something. But it's bad. No joke. I can't say it enough. Do not buy this game unless you are trying to monetize gameplay. For real.
All right. So, yeah, and by the way,
it's easier than Sword and Shield. It's easier than Sword and Shield. Like significantly easier.
Most likely, I'd say so, because I just haven't cared enough to think things through. Like, I'm just mashing the A button, right? But if you actually thought things through, it probably would be easier than Sword and Shield. I'm sure that there's a specific routing thing that you could do to, like, make the game as efficient as possible. Not for the frame rate, though.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it stinks.
I guess it's time to open up my emulator.
No, for real, do it. Play Pokemon Snakewood. That game is at least funny. That game out. Okay, I've been playing Pokemon Snakewood a bit, and that game, bro, that game is at least enjoyable. I can laugh when like zombie demons are popping out of the ground, right? This game, there's nothing to laugh at.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Chazz, you should do like 10 Pokemon ROM hacks better than the official thing.
It's like, I haven't even played any of these. I know it's better.
There's a lot of good. Some of them have vanished from the world. And we don't know what happened to them. But there's a lot of good ones out.
Oh yeah, like Pokemon Uranium, Pokemon Kaizo Emerald. Like just take any Pokemon like ROM that ups the like difficulty of the game. Wanna know what those ROM hackers do? They decide to add 100, like they make every single Pokemon available, giving you infinite amounts of options and opportunities. They make sure some powerful items are ready to be used, but then you have to realize you have to use those items strategically to beat the game because it's really hard. You know? And it's like for every single thing. Let me try to like think my thought through. Okay, if you want to play a fun, casual Pokemon game, play anything up to like X and Y or ORAS, up to anything up to Gen 6. I'd say just about anything, Gen 1 through Gen 6, those are fun games. You can say what you want about Gen 6, you know, being on 3DS and it looks weird. It's the first time they're doing 3D models, right? Give them the pass on that one.
It looks really good than most 3DS. It looks better than most 3DS games.
Exactly. And like Pokemon X and Y had heart. You know, when you find Mewtwo in a random cave and starts playing its old Pokemon like battle theme song, that is like heart. That takes soul. That takes the creators knowing what they're doing and caring, right? And if you want a hard Pokemon game, download any ROM hack. A Kaizo Emerald, Pokemon like Sun and Moon Extreme, whatever it's called, right? But
Does because like I don't like Sun and Moon, but I like the look of it. I felt that Sword and Shield was kind of bland feeling. So, like, is Scarlet and Violet? Does it also feel bland?
it feels very bland. Yes.
Okay, damn. If I like X and Y, I like the way X and Y look. Black and white, all of them had their own thing, but like Sword and Shield, just it was set. Well, I'm Britain, so I get depressing. But like this one just doesn't. I don't know. It just feels like there's no tech support for this game, and there's no artists for this game. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it really does just feel like they've rushed this thing out. They half-assed the game. If you handed this to Gordon Ramsay, he'd call you a donkey and kick you out of the kitchen.
All right.
You know, I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen lately.
I like donkeys; they're very important.
So I wanted to give my thoughts on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So on Game Freak as well. So basically, in my opinion, it's like Game Freak peaked with Pokemon. Like they peaked with it at Gen 5.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
Definitely.
I concur.
Yeah. It's not like the 3DS era was bad. I enjoyed X and Y and Sun and Moon for what they were, but
Okay.
you definitely see Game Freak struggle once they get to the Nintendo Switch era, because it's pretty much the first time they actually had to like make games for like a home console, essentially. Like we said, so Sword and Shield weren't the greatest, but there was still fun to be had in those games. But it's just the fact as it is, you can definitely tell Game Freak doesn't know what they're doing. And the thing of it is, if you think about it, it's gonna keep getting harder, because there's no way, because we're not going back to handheld or anything like that, since the Switch is like selling like hotcakes, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and like pretty much Chazz pretty much said everything. Scarlet and Violet, it's embarrassing and it's very disappointing. The game doesn't even run at 30 frames per second like it's supposed to. Pretty much dips to 20, even below that. And even like when you ride on your legendary, like, and speed on it, the frame rate just gets worse.
But okay, so this is something that has been perplexing me. You are supposed to be riding on this fast legendary Pokemon. You unlock the ability to make it dash. You're supposed to be going fast. This feels like a Sonic game that is slow. You know, like Sonic and the Secret Rings or in the Black Knight, how slow the combat felt in those games at times? Yeah. That's how slow this game feels. You do the move, you do the thing, and it takes like a solid half a second for the thing to come out. Does that like make sense? You know, saying like a slow Sonic game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is Game Freak just one team? Like, are they just like one?
So
team?
the B team works on Pokemon. The B team.
Oh.
Think about that. No.
What's
yeah.
the A team?
The A team most recently worked on Little Town Hero, another RPG that was also pretty bad. Yeah, it looks better than this.
It does.
It's great.
so they do Sword and Shield, right? Okay. So who made Legends Arceus? Was it the A team? Did they go for little? Because like
I don't know.
I don't know either.
My opinion state, and I say this hard, they should have delayed Arceus to this time, like this year. Like, well, it came out this year, but like this time, this should have came out. They should have added like online support, like battles, and then Scarlet Violet should have came out next year. Because Arceus is very solid, in my opinion. If they gave it, 7-8 more months, added online or whatever, I think Arceus would have been great. I think it would have been perfect. Here and there.
Yeah,
but like I'm confused while they're released. Like these two, like it's weird to me that both these games came out this year, and one is just so, and no one's talking about Arceus anymore. It's just gone because Scarlet and Violet's just gonna no one's gonna bring it up. I don't understand.
Yeah, Game Freak is just they're pretty much they're under crunch, so they had to like rush these games out. And the thing of it is, I can't even blame Nintendo for this one. Like you said, like Pokemon Company, it was like one of the like richest like
it is
biggest companies.
Like Pokemon is the highest grossing like I forget the actual word. Media franchise. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It has earned the most money out of everything else. It is at the top. It is number one. For any product that's supposed to be number one to be like this, it is embarrassing, like Creation said. Absolutely. That is the perfect word. This game is an embarrassment. This shouldn't be. This is not Generation 9. This is Generation 8.5. This was a half step that were supposed to be sold as the next big thing, and it is not.
I'm just because we've got a Pokemon game or some content because there was a year between Omega and Sun and Moon. There was 1 year. We didn't get anything 2015, but we got Sun and Moon, Ultra. We got Let's Go, which I don't like Let's Go. We got Sword and Shield. We got the DLCs. Yeah. I've never played it. I've heard people like one of the DLCs, but I never played them. And then Brilliant Diamond.
Brilliant Diamond
is my favorite. But
dude, Gen 4 is the first generation I played. I still have not to this day beaten my copy of Brilliant Diamond. I do not want to beat it. I do not want to play it.
I just don't. I feel like it's like I know it's a different team and they did the best they could, but it's the cheapest. It is the cheapest looking. I don't even want to call it a remake because it doesn't really feel. Because like I don't really care for Omega Ruby and Afro Sapphire. I prefer the original, but at least it was what the current Pokemon standard was from X and Y. But it was that version.
Auras was fine. It's like it's good. It's like like Primal Groudon and Kyogre. You ride on a Mega Rayquaza into an asteroid, right up in outer space. That's just cool,
I think they should have stayed in that era. They should have stayed with what the 3DS games play like on the Switch. They should have just stayed like that, and then it's just
okay. So weird. There's a meme video where a guy was trying to see how far he could push the frame rate in like Auras or XY, and he came up with this: go into a horde battle, and then like make the only Pokemon that spawn be 6 Hoopa Unbound to like see how well the frame rate could handle it. It didn't handle it well. This game feels like that exact scenario where the guy was trying to force the frame rate as low as possible via hacking. But this game just is this. It just feels like there are 100,000 Hoopa Unbound with like 30 things going all at once. They really tried to make this game feel as big and grand as possible without understanding the reason why we like Pokemon is because it was relatively grounded. It was very simple. You pick your character, you pick your starter, you go from gym to gym to gym to gym, you get stronger over the course of your journey, and then you become the Pokemon champion. It's a very simple formula, Do you know
what? IGN has even done an official review for Scarlet and Violet. They're waiting for it to die down before they give it a 10.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay.
They're gonna give it a 7. Watch, they're gonna give it a 7. they're gonna give it a 7. Watch.
Well, like, wasn't Oras like 7.8 out of 10? Was that it, or was it 6.8 out of 10?
I think it was 7.
I mean, here, like, let me look it up.
If Oras gets a lower score, I'm pretty sure Oras got a lower score than Sword and Shield.
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Habanero. Yeah, because like, along as Pokemon fans, like, because all Pokemon fans, all they want to do is just like catch, like, and play, just like use the new Pokemon. So they're gonna keep on buying the games.
Okay. IGN gave Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire a 7.8.
Okay,
it is
7.
good. Yeah. Okay. So keep that number in mind. It will be on the test.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and by the way, yeah, I do want to address some chats while we move on because
Yeah.
No. We're not moving on. I've still got another 5 hours of content to talk about.
Okay. Just
Okay, I'm kind of joking there, but it's also like the NPC characters are kind of like the most soulless they've been. Your rival is at least funny when you tell her, no, I don't want to be your friend, and then she keeps harassing you, right? Mm-hmm. So it really does. When you say, no, I'm not your friend, and then she shows up at every gym you go to, you can make the joke of like, oh, she's stalking you. You're such a Chad for telling her no, that she just wants to be all up on you. But like, I have to make that my own narrative to make it funny, right?
So is this getting a DLC? Is this getting a Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon remake?
It's probably gonna be DLC.
Are we gonna get 3 DLC this time? Are we? What's the color? Scarlet, Violet. So what would be
for Pokemon Red and Blue?
what
Sorry.
What would our third
Indigo?
one be? Orange. Indigo. That's a good.
The Indigo League.
Oh.
Go back to Kanto and Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Indigo version.
Yeah.
Indigo 29.
Oh my god! Did I just make Game Freak another $1 billion with their DLC sell?
Yeah, all the controversy is just gonna pass because OMG, it's the one region that we've been to like 5 times.
I get to battle Red again for the 50th time.
Don't forget that if you buy Scarlet and you buy the Indigo DLC, make sure you buy the Scarlet Indigo version of the DLC.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
that was that's just ridiculous. I feel like just have the DLC work for both versions.
Yeah, it's just so funny. Have the game that was funny. That was funny.
I actually almost bought the wrong version of the DLC for my Switch. I almost purchased like Pokemon Shield Crown Tundra. When it's like, if I wasn't looking very specifically at it and didn't catch that, I would have like, that money down the drain.
He might not even be here today because of it. If that happened.
Yeah, bro, dude, I might have quit. So, but yeah, Manic, do you want to move on to other topics beyond Pokemon Rage?
I do want to read the chat because like shout out to chat. You are all killing it. All right,
chat is lit.
I think this may be the best live viewership we're getting for a Gamer Gear podcast ever.
I wonder if it's because I'm spurging up, bro. I've got some Everclear right here. Do you want drunk Chazz on the Gamer?
Damn,
bro, drunk Chazz on the Gamer Gear podcast.
I could make a Skylanders reference, but nobody would understand it. All right,
it's Skylanders.
I promise I would. I played Skylanders.
Okay, Pop Fizz. Just like that, when he drinks the potion.
Bro, that's funny right there. That's a reference I completely got. Okay, but back to chat, bro. Chat, Manic, read off some chats.
Yeah, we're going from the top here. They've been reusing a ton of assets, including models from Generation 6. To be fair, the models were meant to last. They were meant to be reused for a long time. They were like downscale, like they removed some polygons for the 3DS and then upgraded to the Switch for it to work in HD, and also it's used in Pokemon Go. So it's meant to be very versatile and used many times. In Scarlet and Violet, they added textures to the Pokemon. That's cool. But it's the animations that need some retooling. What needs to be changed.
We need Pokemon Stadium to come back.
Exactly. When Tauros just turns around and it foot appears on your Pokemon, like that's not double kick. That is like That's just lazy. Like,
uh,
I'm at a loss for words. I'm sorry. Like, my rage has peaked. It's like, okay, so like the classic, like numeric underflow. I am anger underflow. I am so pissed off that's looped back around to just being depressed.
At least this game's not gonna be on anyone's game of the year list. I pray.
I hope
pray.
not.
If I see it, I'm freaking like they must only play Pokemon.
I might put Legends Arceus on my game of the year list, or not like
It's
not
good.
like the top one, but maybe top.
Honorberry. It's good. It's solid. I'm surprised it came out this year. I forgot. I played it for a couple of months.
And it's like this.
100%.
Let me just say this: if you enjoy Scarlet and Violet, no, seriously, good on you. You found something in this game.
No,
that
you belong in prison.
No.
On.
But it's like, I don't want to make people feel bad for playing this game. You should feel bad if you bought it. Like Creation, he just got handed to him as a gift. You know, like lucky him. He didn't put any money into this. I paid money for this. My hard-earned shekels going to Nintendo's pockets for this half-baked, lazy mess. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to read off chat. I keep derailing it. I'm sorry.
It's about to be the best selling Pokemon game of all time.
Dude, I hope not.
I pray
really
not.
hope not.
It has no right to be.
Well, the reviews have been the reviews have not been stellar for this game. So at least all the journalists are like, look, we can't be nice to Nintendo now because the fandom that hates Pokemon are too strong right now. The balance isn't in our favor.
The fandom that likes Pokemon, me, is against this game.
The Chazdom.
This game does not have the Chazz Everclear seal of approval. Drunk Chazz does not want to play this game.
Now to the
okay, Bane of Aura Aura. It does not matter that the rival is a cute, tall, tan tomboy. That is not enough to save this game. I love me that exact like tomboy waifu. I love that, but it's not enough. I'm afraid it's not enough.
Real.
It's not enough.
All right,
look at me read off chat.
Sarori says Game Freak is the Nintendo equivalent of 343 Industries.
343 sucks, dude.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Halo Infinite that came out, like it took forever to get basically anything for multiplayer. Are we still waiting for Forge mode?
It's out, but I think they had an issue where, like, when you played a female Spartan, she wouldn't have female voice effects, and that was a problem for a little bit, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is, Game Freak has been in charge of Pokemon forever. 343 just kind of picked it up after 3.
Well, they've not made a good Halo game.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue like Halo 4 is all right.
Well, that's. I mean, we all have demons inside of us.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the 343 had to inherit it and then made it fall. But with this, Game Freak, obviously the same people working prominently at Game Freak now aren't the same people. And also time.
Guys, my dog ran up to me because he could tell I'm distressed just thinking about this game. Like he's trying to sit in my lap and comfort me and be like, Chazz, it's okay, don't worry, bro. Like he's all running around and shit. Oh, cute dog. Sorry.
I think it's because 343. Their Halo games have sold okay, but they have had diminished value. But the Pokemon game, regardless of how bad it may be, it will be $60 forever. It'll be $60 forever.
I saw the trailers. I could tell that the frame rate was going to be bad. I could just tell this game was going to be bad, and I still bought it because I'm like, it's Pokemon. I just wanted to play a nice Pokemon game, but when the battle is so slow, you could probably beat 2 battles in the time it would take you to beat 1 in this game.
I wonder if there's ever any. I wonder if they're ever going to say something about the performance of the game, or we're just going to get these stealth patches that just slightly.
We're just going to get patches.
Yeah, it's going to be like Saints Row, where there's like 3,000 lines of bug fixes.
That That game
Okay,
is nuts, dude.
So like the whole joke of like, oh, speedrunners, but now it's like, how slow can you beat this game?
Yeah.
Bro, this is like the anti-Pokemon speedrunning game. You want to play this game if you want it to be the most slow experience you ever want to experience.
Just play Digimon Cyber Sleuth. It's a better game.
Bro, I don't even know Digimon, and I can tell that Digimon is better than this crap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Not the early Digimon game. They're probably the worst things you ever played.
Yeah.
But the current Digimon games are pretty good.
Yeah. Also, I've actually been playing an RPG recently.
Persona 5?
No, I mean, yeah, that, but I'm not. That wasn't what I was referring to specifically.
The new Persona 5 stream right after. This is all the Gamer Gear podcast is now. Pokemon and Persona, but yeah,
I don't know what he's going to pull out of his pocket.
No. See, there was a thing where I was out and about, and I don't have Persona 5 on Switch. Therefore, I had to play a different JRPG.
Wait a minute.
How dare you? I'm getting a call. I gotta step back real quick.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, just make sure I can mute him myself if need be. Yeah, just the JRPG in question was Live Alive. I've had that for quite a few months, but I actually I played it, and honestly, I gotta say, I'm not impressed.
Not impressed. It looks good, but
I thought you were going to say Xenoblade.
Well, some places are bland. Some places are bland.
I currently I don't want this to be a whole segment. I just started with the feudal Japan element. So far, the voice acting is kind of meh. The combat it has a lot to be desired so far.
It's like direct. Like it's a remake, but it keeps as much of the original as possible.
Yeah, and I don't know. I might need to like look back at Octopath Traveler because I just feel like this is visually this is kind of a step down from that.
Interesting.
And I really don't want to like look back at Octopath and be like, wow, this never looked that great.
Well, Triangle Strategy just came out.
Oh, just came out.
That came out. Triangle Strategy came out what 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
So that carries because that's not. I don't think it's in the same universe, but it's basically the same. But it's the same style, exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. But yeah, that's been that, and also it did crash on me in a cutscene. That's like I thought of that when Chazz talked about how it crashed on him. But yeah. Let's see. Jim Alexander says, I unironically enjoyed Sonic 06 more than the recent Pokemon games. And then Awesome Boss agreed with him. That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
I don't think any kind of enjoyment can really be brought to Sonic 06 unless you're playing like the remake that people have been making forever.
Okay, I mean, Sonic 06 on Xbox 360 takes like 5 minutes to load. That's just like bad. And like, in 2006 when it came out, you didn't have like a phone to just scroll on while it was loading.
You just had to suffer.
Yeah. Yeah, so Black Red Pill 2 says Manic would be more accurate if comparing it to Fallout 76 on launch.
Oh my god. That game, you couldn't even attack enemies because the server would change and the enemies would teleport to a different area.
Yeah, that's